is going on, guys? It is Laker Nation all day. You know how we do in here. It's all about us. And you see it on the screen. End of the third quarter. We're down by 18. We're going to be officially eliminated once the Lakers finish this game. The Spurs obviously won their game against Denver, so that's why we had to win this game in order to stay in it. But there was just no shot. You know, in the first quarter, we played pretty well. Even in the second quarter, I thought we stayed in it. But of course, once again, the third quarter has just been the story of the year in which we haven't been able, to sustain a close game or a lead that we ever had in the third quarter. It just never happened. And I never expected us to win this game in the first place. Because if you think about it, right, if the Suns win, they not only eliminate us out of the playoffs, they set their franchise record in total wins for a season. So those are two things that the Suns get to rub in our faces with their victory tonight. But I'm just going to go over the season. I'm not even going to go over the game because you see it on the screen with the stats. LeBron didn't play. That's probably the one thing that I'm going to talk about the most, right? LeBron not playing was probably the biggest slap in the face. Because, we're seeing a situation in which the Lakers could have been able to stay in it, to stay in the race for the play-in game, right? These games have been winnable. The last game against Denver, that was winnable. In the first half, it was a winnable game. We just needed our best player on the floor. And what we have is a superstar who is simply just laughing and smiling on the bench like we're not 31-47. And all he does is promote his Lobos and his shoes on Instagram and Twitter. So apparently that's more important to him than trying to win. It's pretty evident by now that, he doesn't care. And, it is what it is, right? I know he had a heck of a season, right, in terms of scoring. Defensively, he was not there, but, I'm not going to ask too much from him. But all I wanted was for us to play till the very end. And someone like AD, I want everyone to get off AD's back because he's been injured. A lot of those injuries were not his fault. And he's playing while he's injured. At least he's trying, right? Russ, he's been playing pretty well these past 12, 14 games. He's really been stepping up, okay? But what I'm looking at is LeBron James. He is not playing when it matters most. And that's obviously the story of the season, right? He puts up a bunch of numbers, which it's great. He's 37. It's amazing that he's doing this at 37, but he's not doing it when it matters most, which is fourth quarter time. And this is just another example, as well as last game, in which he has not been able to put himself out there and try winning these games. I mean, it's just ridiculous at this point. This season's over. I've come to accept that, obviously, because we're officially eliminated. But my thing is, why would you put Westbrook and AD out there if LeBron already gave up on the season? He gave up on the season a while back. It was pretty evident because he's not playing in games that he needs to be playing in. And this is just a catastrophic failure. One of the worst, if not the worst, super team of all time. There's no other way to put it. Instead, the media will talk about LeBron's scoring greatness. How he's averaging 30 points, how he might get the scoring title. I think LeBron needs to play one more game in order for him to qualify to even get the scoring title. I wouldn't be surprised if he came back next game or the game after that against a trash team and put up 40. I really wouldn't be, because that's the player LeBron is. Yes, he is great, and he is an all-time great. I'm not taking anything away from him. But a lot of the times I've been seeing him, he's in it for the numbers rather than the winning sometimes. Because, it's been a very tough season. We're obviously not 500. We're 16 games under 500. If you've been watching the games instead of just looking at the box score, you can tell that he's very focused on the stats. He's very focused on scoring, even though that's not the number one thing. Because I've been seeing these past few games without LeBron James. And even when we didn't have LeBron James in the beginning of the season, right? Because he got injured, right? And we just had AD and Westbrook. I saw the ball move around a lot more. I saw our offense have more fluidity to it. I saw us play with more effort and urgency on defense. Now, obviously, losing by 21 by the Suns is not going to tell a lot. But the first half, it was there. And against Denver, that whole game, that was a pretty good game, even though we lost. All we needed was our superstar, and we didn't get it. And all I'm simply saying is that it seems like LeBron has checked out already this entire season, like a long time ago. Like I could say like a month and a half to 2 months ago. And then in the All-Star break, he was teasing about going back to Cleveland, throwing Rob Pelinka under the bus, things of this sort. And a report just came out today that they can expect for Frank Vogel to be fired. That is another thing I don't like, okay? Frank Vogel won a championship with us. Frank Vogel led us to the top 5 defense in our championship season. He led us to the top-rated defense last season. And all of a sudden, you're going to fire him because we missed the playoffs. I'm sorry, did the Warriors fire Steve Kerr after not making the playoffs? Did the Spurs fire Greg Popovich after not making the playoffs? I know those are two different coaches in terms of tiers, but you need to have consistency, and Frank Vogel getting fired is not going to solve this team's issue. And I'm sorry, but LeBron, you need to speak up and defend your coach that you won a championship with, okay? You can't just not say anything about it and have him fired. Who is available on the market that's better than him? So right now, I'm just speaking about what to expect this offseason, because I don't know how many times I'm going to stream or post videos about the Lakers. I'll post one every now and then, but our season's over, right? So, obviously I have to wait till free agency. Obviously I have to wait till other things occur with the Lakers. But all I'm simply saying is that LeBron has not demonstrated good leadership throughout this entire season, right? Even in the beginning of the season when our team wasn't, performing the best because they're still trying to get the chemistry together, he kept on talking about, oh, I did this, they need to do this, right? It's a lot of, oh, why are you looking at me, right? Look at Westbrook, look at AD. He didn't say that directly, but it's about the language he used. It's about the terms I and we. He never demonstrated good leadership throughout the season. But like I said, I'm not going to sit here and criticize this entire thing on LeBron. But all I'm simply saying is, if you want to put the blame on AD, put the blame on Russ, whoever you want to put the blame on, it starts with the roster, okay? And who constructed this roster. And ultimately, LeBron James has the major say in that, okay? I'm sorry, but it's just very disappointing to see LeBron James do what he did to end this season. We had multiple chances. It's not even just this game or last game that he decided to sit out. It's games like against the Pelicans when we were the 10 seed. We're up by 20 in the half. He doesn't do anything in the fourth quarter. Same thing with other recent games. So this is not a first-time thing that we're seeing LeBron James push himself away from the blame when it matters most. And that is the biggest reason why we are what we are. No leadership, no identity, and this roster was constructed by that guy. You could say Rob Pelinka ultimately had the final say, but it's a GM's and a president's of basketball operations job to listen to your best player. So that's all I have for this one, man. Like I said, I might post some videos here and there about the Lakers, especially in the offseason. I expect them to fire Frank Vogel, even though he doesn't deserve it, so I'll probably post a video regarding that coming up. But if you guys enjoyed it, drop a like, comment down below what your guys' thoughts were on the Lakers. Obviously not making even the play-in tournament. And subscribe more. Alright, guys? Peace out. And as always, go Lakers.